Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a full face of nothing new. So pretty much I shopped my stash. And the only thing that is new is a set of brushes. You guys know that I love the BK Beauty brushes. I think they're amazing. A lot of the brushes that I own from BK Beauty are from when they first launched their set and I purchased them myself. They did send me some in PR a while back, but most, I would say 80% of the brushes that I own from BK Beauty, I purchased them. As far as high-end brushes, BK Beauty and REPHR are my two favorite brands. I did find a set on Amazon and the brand is called Beili. Now these look just like the BK Beauty brushes, okay? Here is the BK Beauty 101 and this is their version of it. And they don't have a number on the actual ferrule, but I mean, it looks the same. And when you compare them, the ferrule looks exactly the same. Now this brush right here seems to be a little smaller and the BK Beauty one seems to be a little denser. So I would say it's not 100% dupe, but I want to try these. What I'm going to do is today I'm going to do half on my face with the BK Beauty, the other half with their brushes. And then they really come really nicely packed. Like all the face brushes come with a little net over the bristles, and all of them come in a little plastic sleeve. They come very well protected. The brushes actually come inside this box right here and then inside this box. I did get them on Amazon. They were $23, $22.99. So you're actually paying $1.53 per brush. So we're gonna see, I would say they will have to be pretty bad not to be worth $1.53. But I want to see how they compare to the BK Beauty one. So the only thing I have done is my brows, and I use Loreal Brow Stylist Definer and then the NYX Brow Glue in dark brown, and that's what I used on the front of my brows, and then I just shaped the rest of the brow with a pencil. So I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Clingy Primer. I like this primer. It is not super sticky. I don't like very sticky primers, but I feel like this one is not super sticky and it feels hydrating on the face. And I think that it does help. I feel like it does help your makeup last longer. And like I said, it does feel hydrating, doesn't feel super tacky. It's not super thick. It's more like a gel, but it just glides nicely on the face and I like it. I think it's nice, and it's only like $6.99. All right, so we're gonna let that sit for a second while I tell you a little bit about the brushes. So like I said, this comes in a set of 15 brushes and they have been around since 1998. The advantage of Beili makeup brush lies in the rigor, raw materials, and craftsmanship. Only high quality raw wool selected by the pen maker is used, and every step of the process is purely artificial. Only skilled craftsmen can master the traditional skill of removing the inverse hair, adjust the shape of the playhead, and rub the shape according to experience and touch. Every minute is a condensation of the artisan's high skill. Compared with the mass production of machine cutting, Beili makeup brush can make the skin feel softer, reduce the stimulation to the skin, and make up more delicate, natural, and durable. Okay, that doesn't make too much sense to me, but whatever. So they are made in China. I tried to look up where the brushes from BK Beauty were made. I have heard creators say before they're made in China. I couldn't find anywhere on the website where it said that. I googled it and I was not able to find any information as to where they're made. It does say BK Beauty brushes are designed in the USA by the founder Lisa J and are crafted with high quality 100 cruelty-free and vegan synthetic fibers. While the company is based in Austin, Texas, the specific manufacturing location is not publicly disclosed. They're known for being soft, durable, and suitable for sensitive skin. It doesn't say they're made in the US, it says they're designed in the US. So I really can't answer that for you. So I think this is pretty much set. So I'm going to start with concealer first. I'm going to use a Maybelline Lifter Concealer. I hope I picked the right shade. This one may be the one that's a little light, but we're going to go with it because that's the one that I brought with me. I have this one. I have 20 and 31, and I feel like 31 works a little better for me. But since I forgot, we are going to use 20 today. So the only thing is, I don't feel like we have a brush that is suitable for concealer. This one is the one that they said is for concealer, and this is more to me like a packing brush than a concealer brush. So I'm just going to use one of these because they give me plenty of eye brushes. So I'm going to use this one right here. And like I said, they're not named on the actual brush what they are. They are in the little pamphlet that they sent with it, but I am not going to keep that. So, and to me, brushes, you use them whatever you want them for. They're not, it doesn't matter. If it says that is for your crease and you find that it works better blending, then you blend. You know, it's up to you. You use your brushes for whatever it works for, not necessarily for what they're telling you it's for. Where's my concealer? Yeah, see, the concealer one is super light. To me, it's harder to cover the dark circle, so I'm going to let it sit there for a second. And then for the right side, I'm going to use the BK Beauty, the Angie Hot and Flashy A506. But I'm going to let the concealer sit for a second. In the meantime, I am going to be using this foundation from Mercari. This is a changing foundation. It has SPF 15. I already have my SPF on. This matches skin tones, fair to medium tones. So I think if you have a darker complexion than medium, this is not going to work for you. I love this foundation. This is actually my second bottle. And I love this so much that I bought one for my sister, my niece, my daughter. So it comes out white, but I'll show you how it changes as you rub it in. As I apply the foundation, I'll give you a little description as to what this foundation is all about. But it's really beautiful. Now, it is scented. So if this is something that you totally are against, this is scented. So I would say stay away from it. It doesn't bother me. I'm not sensitive to it. And I don't mind products. Oh, see, I already messed up. I don't mind products that are scented. But I know some people have sensitivity. And they don't enjoy that. So just be warned that it is very, very, it almost smells like a Dior foundation. That kind of like floral scent. That's what it reminds me of. Now shade 31 works a lot better under my eyes than this one. I'm going to put some on the back of my hand. And we're going to start with the left side. And I'm going to use the one that is like the match to the 101. And I feel like this foundation almost works better if you swipe it than if you try to just pounce it on your skin. But I feel like it looks very natural. It doesn't get too dark on your skin, which I really do enjoy. It is long lasting and the scent does dissipate. I mean, once you have it on for a bit, like once you finish applying it, I can't smell it anymore. But when you first put it on, it definitely is very scented. I'm going to put a little more on my cheek where I have most of my hyperpigmentation. Okay, I think that's better. You can see what I'm doing. So this gives you like a medium coverage. So you can see the difference between this side and this side right here. This foundation comes in only one shade. It is $39 for 1 fluid ounce. This company is from the Netherlands. Ideal for mature skin, designed to smooth and even out skin texture. It gently covers fine lines and imperfections without settling, leaving your complexion looking fresh, lifted, and luminous. Available with SPF 30 and it is cruelty free. It also works beautifully if you apply with your fingers. Okay, as far as the application, it looks about the same to me. How do they feel? I mean, I kind of like the bigger, I don't know, I like them both. Because sometimes I prefer the smaller brush. If you're traveling, I feel like a brush this size can work for foundation or concealer because it's not as large as this. So really the size doesn't really matter. And I feel a size, now I have like a, I don't know if it's a brush hair, but I feel like I have like a hair. So I don't know if this is shedding already. I don't see it, but I feel it. So this foundation, as you can see, is a little glowy, but I think that once you powder it and everything else, it looks nice. I do enjoy it. going to put a little bit of concealer on my lid. For powder, I'm going to use the one from Max Factor. This is the Miracle Veil. I use this in a full face of Max Factor, and I really do enjoy it. Now, these are the two brushes that are comparable. This is the BK Beauty 104 for the powder, so I'm going to use this one on the right hand side. I like this powder. I think it does a really good job. I don't feel like you really need to set this concealer, but I'm just putting whatever is left over on my brush. And then I'm going to use this one here, and I did use my Sephora spray cleanser, brush cleanser, that it disinfects and it cleans, and it's the spray that your brushes are ready to use as soon as you use that, so you don't have to wait for them to dry. But I did spray them so that, you know, just in case. This feels soft. I did find it looks like it's shedding a little bit. I don't know if this is from, I think it's from this brush. I'm going to continue to use this on a daily basis. I'm going to clean them after I use them. And then in like a couple of weeks, I'll give you my full thoughts if I feel that they're worth it. Because if they are going to be shedding, then I've never had that problem with BK Beauty or REPHR. Okay, so that's all the powder I'm going to use for now. So for bronzer, this is an oldie but a goodie from Revolution. This is the Ultra Cream Bronzer in Light. I have not used this in such a long time, and I really did enjoy this bronzer, so I decided to pull it out and try it again, see if I still love it, and if I don't, couldn't open it, and if I don't, move it along. It's more like a contour bronzer. It's a little cool tone, but this looks so pretty on the face. I'm going to use their brush, the equivalent to the 106 from BK Beauty, and I'm just going to grab some bronzer and apply it to this half of the face. This is such an easy to blend product, very affordable. I don't know if I told you, but everything is going to be drugstore today, every product that I'm using. And I'm going to take the foundation brush that I used and just go around the edge. But this blends like a dream. Then I'm going to grab the 106 from BK Beauty. Oh, I need to pounce it a little more. You don't need a lot. It's very creamy, very easy to blend. Again, I'm going to go over it with the foundation brush, because I always end up with too much product. And this what's left over. This is the Beili brush. I didn't add any additional product on here. I'm just using what's left. And this is the BK Beauty. For blush, I'm going to use this one here from Catrice, and this is the Cheek Lover Marbled Blush, and this is in the shade Dahlia Blossom. I think I'm going to use the same brush that I use for powder for both sides. So this is the BK Beauty, the 104, and I'm just going to grab a little bit because this is pretty pigmented, and just go over my cheek. It's a very pretty cool tone pink, very beautiful. That's what the blush looks like. It does have like a little bit of a glow, but I don't feel like it's not glittery or super glowy or anything like that. Now this is the Beili. Feels like it picked up a lot. Let's see. I'm just barely touching the blush because it can be very pigmented. Again, I'm going to take the brush that I use for my foundation and go over the edges really quick so that we don't have blush blindness today. Okay, for my eyes today, I'm going to be using one of the Milani Gilded Mini Palettes, and this one is the one that is the Wind Down, W-I-N-E. And this is so beautiful. And the reason I wanted to use this one, I wanted to show it to you next to the Victoria Beckham Orchid. And I know that many people do not want to pay this much money for an eyeshadow palette. So for $10, you can get something very similar to it. Let me swatch them next to each other so that you can see how some of the shadows are similar. Okay, they're not the same, but I mean, I think you can do okay. The top one is the Victoria Beckham, the bottom one is the Milani, and I really think that you can create a beautiful look with the Milani one. You don't need to spend the money on the Victoria Beckham. So we're going to go ahead and create a quick look with the Milani. So we're going to start with the Beili side. I'm going to be using this one right here. I'm going to start with this shade right here. I think I'm going to do the entire eye so I don't get confused with the brushes, and then just copy what I did with the BK Beauty side. Okay, I'm going to wipe it, and I'm going to take this shade right here and just go over the edge of that shadow that I just applied. Now I'm going to take this one that is slanted, and I'm going to go into the darker shade right here. I'm going to grab just a little tiny bit more. Now, if you guys, if you're new to my channel, I do have a spot here that many shadows do not cover. For some reason, it doesn't like taking the pigment, and I've had that all my life. So it's not that the eyeshadow is patchy, it's my eyelid that's patchy. So I'm just blending that dark color that is very beautiful. It's like a brown that has like a little bit of plum in it. I think it's really gorgeous. So I'm going to use this brush right here that is supposed to be, I believe, the one for the concealer. I don't see that. It is very stiff, and I don't know, I would never use this for a concealer. But I'm going to grab some of this shimmer right here and try applying it. Normally I would go in with my finger, but I'm trying to use the brushes. So let's see what this does. I may go over it with my finger, but like I said, I'm just trying to use the brushes to see what they feel like. It actually doesn't feel scratchy. So far, none of the brushes have felt scratchy or anything like that on my eyes or on my face. They have felt very soft. So I don't think that's a problem. So I'm going to wipe it and use the other side and grab some of this shimmer right here. It's like a champagne color, and go in my inner corner. That is a very pretty shade. I'm going to grab a clean brush. This is not really like a blending brush, but it doesn't matter. Just to blend between the shadows. I'm going to go back to the brush that I used, the slanted one that I used on my inner corner, and just add a little more of that shade right here. And I'm going to use the original brush that I used to blend, just to blend that. Now I'm going to go to the BK Beauty side, and I'm going to use the 211 with the lavender shade that I used on my crease. Then I'm going to wipe it and go into the cream shade just to go over the edge and my brow bone. This is a 205 from BK Beauty, the slanted one. I'm going to go into the darker shade. I really feel like these brushes feel pretty similar. If you mix them up and you gave them to me, you know, without me knowing which one I'm using, I don't think I would be able to tell one from the other. I think I felt more of the difference between the face brushes than I am the eye brushes. And I did find a couple of extra fibers on my shirt, so I think the powder brush was definitely shedding. But maybe it's because it's brand new, and once it gets, you know, a couple of those hairs, extra hairs, you know, out of its system, it's not going to shed anymore. That's something that I have to get back to you on to see if they continue to shed. The eye brushes feel very, very, very soft, just as soft as the BK Beauty ones. And I'm just going back and adding a little more of the dark shade. Then I'm going to take, I didn't have a regular BK Beauty flat one like the one from Beili's, so I'm going to use the Angie Hunt Flashies. This is a A505, and I'm going to use that, it's like a rose gold color on my lid. It's just a very beautiful color. I'm going to wipe it, then I'm going to use the champagne color on the other side. Okay, I'm going to take the blending brush and just kind of blend. And I'm going to grab a little extra of the dark color and just use it out here. And then I'm going to grab a clean brush and just kind of blend over here between both shades. So I think that's pretty. I think I'm done with my eyeshadow. This is a 211, yeah. Now what I do think that I think I need to go into my concealer. I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my hand. I'm going to take this little brush. This one is from Beili's. And I'm going to grab a little bit and just go in my inner corner, which is very dark. I'm trying to lighten that up a little bit. My inner corner, I swear, but I don't sleep well, so I'm sure that doesn't help. Okay, then I'm gonna grab this one from, this is a BK Beauty 207, and I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Lighten that up a little bit. All right, so I think I'm done with my eyes. I'm gonna put some mascara, and then if I need to tweak anything, I'll do it then. I'm going to use the Panorama from Loreal. I'm going to do 2 coats of mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is 2 coats of the Panorama, and then on my lower lash line, I have the e.l.f. Lash Extender, 1 coat of that. So the only thing we have left is just lipstick, and I'm using this lip liner from Moira, and this is in the shade Superstar. Then the lipstick that I'm using is one of the new ones from Maybelline that they released recently. It's one of the satin ones, and this is in the shade 107 Blind Date. They have satin and they have matte. I like them both. This is the shade of the lipstick. It's very beautiful. They are so creamy. They have a nice wear time. Very, very comfortable. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. Now, there's a lot of creators or makeup enthusiasts that say that if you have a bold eye, which I don't know if you would consider this a bold eye, it's not to me. But if you do, they say that you shouldn't wear a bold lipstick. Listen, wear what makes you happy. I like both, okay? You guys know me, if you've been on my channel, I don't wear a lot of light lipsticks. They just wash me out, and I feel like I look like I don't feel well. So I do own some, but normally I wear like a darker lip liner with them. But I say there are no rules, no rules. There's no makeup police. Wear what makes you happy. And this lipstick and this eyeshadow look makes me happy. I brought a highlighter with me. I totally forgot. This is the L'Oreal Lumi Le Glace, and this is in the shade Glassy Pink. It's so pretty. And this one you can just use your finger with it. I want to make sure I didn't have eyeshadow on my finger. End up with a purple highlight. And it's soft enough that you can use it straight on your face. And this is very much a dupe, I would say, to the Merit. They are just as glossy, just as easy to apply, just as natural looking. They're absolutely gorgeous. It's not very dark. It doesn't have any glitter. It just looks nice and beautiful and glowy. So pretty. I absolutely love this product. I think it's gorgeous. And yeah, this is one that I would say if you've been curious about the Merit, try this. You will absolutely love it and you're not missing out on anything. All right, so there's additional brushes that came with a set. Like this one, I would say that this is equivalent to the 110 from BK Beauty. Brought a pencil brush that is equivalent to the 210 from BK Beauty. I don't really have anything like this. This is like a small size 106. I would say this is probably, I don't know. You can use it for whatever you want. I feel like it brought some brushes that are a little more redundant to me. Okay, this one is good. I can use this one. This one is like the 209. Then it brought both of these, which to me, if you have one, you don't need the other. I don't know. I don't have anything like this from BK Beauty. And then they also give you this one, which is like a brow brush. And to me, it's like if you have this, you really don't need this, and vice versa. So there's extra little brushes that I think, you know, I can do without. Now, I'm not sure if I own something like this from BK Beauty. I own so many of the ones that come like in a set. When you get like a set of brushes, it brings you the brow brush with the spoolie, and I could have it. I couldn't find it. I could have one from BK Beauty. I couldn't find it, but I own so many, and if it's something that is sold separately, I can see myself not buying it, because I mean, how many of these do you need? And I'm sure most of us own several. So these are okay, but like I said, I don't think you need both of these, but I think so far they feel okay. Like I said, that the face ones, definitely this one, it had a little bit of shedding. I found one on my face and one on my shirt. But again, we have to see if this is something that is going to be a problem, or if it's just, you know, a fluke kind of thing. When I look at the BK Beauty, all the hairs look like even. This one, they look like a little uneven. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not. It's not a big deal, okay? It's not your face. I don't think it's going to be able to tell. But I'm just saying, okay, these are definitely worth $1.50. But I'm going to tell you if they continue to shed, if they don't, you know, how I feel about them. I like the look that I created. Once again, if you've been curious about the Victoria Beckham, this is a great option. I will link it for you below. $9.99. You may be able to find it cheaper at Walmart. I'll link it in several places in case the price is different. If not, then I'll just link one. If I see the price is $9.99 everywhere. These are super nice. I've had this in my collection for a long time. As you can see, I have used it many times. These are nice little palettes. I own a couple of them. Thank you for being here. Make sure that you leave me a comment. If nothing else, just leave me a little heart so that I know that you are here. If you have not subscribed, I would love for you to do so. And I will see you on my next video. Thank you guys. Bye. I love you. Mwah.